Hi, this is Matt Hug, founder and president of Nonprofit.Courses. Thanks so much for signing up for new course alerts. Now, what I want to talk about is the download you got with that, which is the 25 essentials for onboarding nonprofit volunteers. I want to review some of the points on that list, which I think might be helpful for a little more discussion. So if you'll forgive me for looking at my screen here, let's go down some of these points and take a look at this list. Number one, ask why your volunteer is volunteering. You know, I used to work for a youth organization years and years ago who said, never trust a volunteer who volunteered. And there was good reason for that because they were concerned about child abuse and making sure that they understood why somebody was going to be a part of that organization. And now, I'm not suggesting that maybe that's your problem, but I think it's really important for you to understand why somebody is volunteering for whatever you do. It might be because a friend asked them. It might be something in their past they want to make sure nobody else experiences. It might be for their kids. Whatever it is, make sure that you know for more than just, it's important child protection and all that for sure, but also how can you help them meet their goals through your organization? If you help them meet their goals, they will in turn really help you meet yours. So understand why they're part of your organization and why they want to connect with your cause. Your mission is going to be better off for that. Now, another thing I want to talk about, mission, right? The M word, the reason why you're there. You might say, well, of course they understand the mission. It's kind of on the name, right? Well, not necessarily. They may not know how you carry out your mission. They may not know the nuance of why you and your mission is different from maybe a similarly named organization someplace else, right? So just review the mission of your organization and how you carry out that mission. Provide them with materials so that they can talk to other people about the mission, because these folks are going to be your advocates in the community. Somebody walks up to them and says, hey, what are you doing for XYZ organization? Do you want them to simply to say, well, I'm just stuffing some envelopes, because I thought it was a good thing? No, you want them to be enthusiastic. Talk about what you do. Understand some of the things that motivate what your organization does, because they can really make or break your name in your community with just a little bit of education on your mission. Uh, with that, make sure you go over emergency procedures. Well, what's that have to do with mission? Because some missions really have situations where, if you're being an advocate for something and somebody doesn't like whatever you're advocating for, that might cause an emergency. But, it also could just be, it's a snow day. Some winter storm hit and you don't want one of your volunteers to walk uphill 5 miles, right, in the bitter snow only to find your door locked. So make sure that you review emergency procedures with your volunteers, whether that's a snowstorm all the way up to something, like a bomb threat or whatever it could be. Uh, Make sure that you begin the process for clearances, and it might be background checks, criminal background checks. Maybe they need a license to do something for your organization, like a nursing license or something. And that protects your mission recipients, it protects the volunteer, it protects your organization from all sorts of liability issues. So just want to make sure that you're checking on all those things. Add their name to a special occasion list. Do you do birthday parties? Do you have a holiday party? Do you have a summer picnic? Whatever it is, make sure that they're included and that they're part of your family. It's really important to include volunteers because they want to be part of you. It's not like they're getting a paycheck, so they are there for other motivations. Make sure you meet that motivation, invite them into your world. Now, also, review the evaluation process with your volunteers. How do you judge that they are doing what they ought to be doing? Now, you're saying, well, they're volunteers, right? I can't do this. Oh, yes, you can, and you should. I know in my own circumstances, if I get feedback from an organization I volunteer with, I really appreciate it because I can do my job better. Maybe I didn't know I wasn't doing something, or maybe I didn't realize I was doing something so good because whatever it was, right? Feedback is huge. So make sure that your volunteers are getting regular feedback on how well they're performing, because they're volunteering. They probably want to do a really good job for you. So let them know how they can do that. Train them on their specific job. This is really important. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't say send the Nonprofit.Courses, because you probably will find some resources there for their job training. And if you have some good job training resources, yeah, let's talk. Maybe we can get them up on Nonprofit.Courses. But not only training them for their current job, but if you have expectations for their future job with you in your organization, make sure they know what those expectations are, where they can find those resources. And maybe it'll be on Nonprofit.Courses, and we can get them to be yet a better volunteer for you with a few of those videos. Now, also put in your calendar some follow-up. Make sure that you're very specific about following up with your volunteers. Just find out how they're doing. They're not a set it and forget it kind of thing. Find out what it is that they're doing or not doing, or how they like what they are, because communication is huge. I had a boss years ago who used to say we rust volunteers out more than we wear them out. And if they're not getting any communication, that's adding rust to them. So let's make sure you're communicating with the volunteers. And then the last point I'm going to make, it can be very sensitive for a lot of folks, but you got to do it. I think you got to do it. And that is solicit a charitable gift. Yeah, I worked for, again, that same youth organization years ago. When somebody volunteered to be a leader, the first thing we did was put an application in front of them that required, at that time, I think it was $10, right? But the point is, if they are putting money in, they are going to be better volunteers for you. They have stake in the game. Now, none of this, in my opinion, I give my time, not my money, right? There are a lot of people who really can't, you can do $25, $10, $5, whatever it is, to join, to be part of that organization, so that they can have the pride to go to the people around them and say, I'm a donor. I care about what's going on. I put my own resources into this. So you be the best judge, but I personally feel that you need to ask for an, especially if they're a board member. There is no, that's no, you will make a gift if you're a board member. That's really important. So that's what I have for you here. Take a look at all the 25 points. I wanted to highlight a few for you. And remember, you don't have to go through a checklist with them sitting across from a desk and make it a grind. Put some of these things on video. Send them to Nonprofit.Courses. Have other people talk to them. Use things like Google Forms, where maybe they can sit at home and just fill out some information for you and then email it in, or have it go through the Google Form system so that you get it, so they don't have to sit there at your desk, filling out some sort of form that you're going to have to retype anyhow. So there's all sorts of ways of connecting into this orientation, to this onboarding process. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you get a lot out of that list. And I really hope that you see a lot on new courses alerts that you're going to take advantage of. All right, this is Matt Hugg for Nonprofit.Courses. Have a great nonprofit day.